All right, ladies, so I know this process can be extremely overwhelming, stressful. It gave me some anxiety even before I was ready to even plan for this process, but why not make it fun? I mean, I'm all about the glitter. I took out my markers, my ruler, some paint, and I created a calendar. I just want to show you guys what it can look like, on a calendar, and this is going to be my road to retrieval. Now, this process is going to be different for all of us. My process won't be the same as yours won't be the same as mine, and no two women are going to have the same experience through the egg freezing journey. That being said, there are some certain basic steps that you are all going to go through. So why not make it fun? Why not, enjoy the process? Honestly, when you're happier, your body feels happier, and it'll respond in ways that you never imagined. So let's get started. So basically, the time that you want things get going is when you get your period. So day one, that's when your flow starts, and that's when you get the phone and call your doctor and make an appointment. So just let me give you a little bit of glimpse of what happened for me. I got my period and I was so nervous and so excited at the same time. I had no idea what my body was going to be like at that point. I have been working myself, eating right, exercising, meditating, acupuncture. I've done it all. But was I really ready? Well, that's where all the fun started. So I picked up the phone on that day and made an appointment for my following day. The day the doctor does the ultrasound is on the second day of your period. As nervous as I was, I went to the doctor and he was amazing. I went and did some blood work, which is the normal process. They check your levels, your estrogen levels. And then that was time for him to use the ultrasound and check and see how my follicles were doing. Well, to my surprise, I had 8 follicles on the right side, but only 1 on the left. So what does that mean? Total of 9. 9 is good. Is it great? Not so much. So at that point, the doctor and I decided, well, maybe it would be a better idea to hold off on this cycle. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, do I really have to wait another month? And then I was like, well, I gotta listen to my body. And that's so, so important. So we had options. If you're at that point that I was at, 9 follicles, the doctor can say, okay, do it, but is it really worth it? The other issue we had at that point was that all my follicles were not synchronized. So let's say you have 8 on one side, 8 on the other, 16 or 10 and 10, 20 total. Amazing. But if they're not all synchronized, that's when the doctor actually gives you birth control. They'll either give you birth control or they'll give you estrogen tablets to kind of synchronize the follicles, and then they can start the stimulating process. So let's say everything is perfect. You have 20 eggs all growing at the same rate, at the same size, at the same time, and your body is like, yay, let's do this. At that point, that night of your first appointment, the doctor will tell you to go to the pharmacy and pick up your hormone injection. So you'll start the process, and it can be scary, but I will show you exactly how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, and I'll be really honest with you, I'll tell you if it hurts. Although I'm a pharmacist and I prick people with needles all the time, I've pricked myself too. I've given myself B12 shots. I've done it all, so I can tell you exactly what it's going to feel like. So you will continue a couple days of hormones, and then you'll go to your second appointment. And at this point, it becomes totally routine. You think it's supposed to be something different, but it's actually very similar to that first appointment. You'll walk in, they'll do the blood work. The doctor will do a vaginal ultrasound. Make sure you pee beforehand because can get a little uncomfortable. The ultrasound does not hurt at all. All it is a little bit of pressure, and it's over within a few minutes, so not a big deal. And if everything is going right at that second appointment, the doctor will be like, all right, do I need to give you more hormones? Do I need to lessen the amount of hormones that I give you? And so the doctor will adjust it, and then you'll go for another couple days. And then you'll have another appointment. So it's actually really basic as far as the process goes. It's just a matter of how your body is reacting. The doctor wants to make sure they don't overstimulate your ovaries, because that would be a problem. They want to make sure they're growing them at the same rate, at a good pace, and making sure they can get as many out as they possibly can. So you'll continue. Now, I've drawn out this calendar to look really, really long, but the stimulation process where you're injecting your hormones can be anywhere between 8 and 14 days. Yes, 2 weeks of this process, but guess what? it's not a big deal. When you're doing it, you're in it, and you may as well do it and do it the right way. So how are you going to feel? So besides having like a little bit of pricking in the injection site, your ovaries, they start with these tiny, tiny follicles, and over the week or 2 week process, they will start growing. So you'll feel like you have grapes hanging on each side of your follicle, like a little heavy sensation. So you may not be able to like exercise as much. Some doctors tell you to kind of keep it low key. Don't do any kind of heavy lifting. You know, don't work out, maybe don't go spinning that week or for those 2 weeks, and try to keep it really easy on your body so the hormones can do what they need to do and your body can react in the right way. So let's say you've done it and now you're at your 4th appointment. So again, the doctor will do another round of blood work and will do a vaginal ultrasound. So at that point, your doctor says, you know what, amazing, everything looks fantastic, and it's time for your trigger shot. So what is the trigger shot? The trigger shot is where the doctor uses medication to put you in ovulation. And 35 hours later, that's when they actually do the retrieval. So let's say at that 4th appointment, your body's ready, everything looks good, you'll go home and they'll tell you exactly when to inject yourself and when to come back for the final last appointment, which is your retrieval. So let's say you do the trigger and then 35 hours later you have to go to the doctor. Now this is a little bit trickier. It's not like the other routine appointments that you've been at. You're gonna have to have someone take you there because you will be under sedation. So when you wake up, you're a little groggy and you might be cramping a little bit. So that morning they'll have you check in with the surgery center, they'll prep you, they'll have the anesthesiologist come in, and honestly the only difference from the other appointments is that at this one, at the end of the ultrasound, there will be a long needle which is used to go individually to each follicle and remove the fluid from each follicle. And within an hour after they've removed all the liquid from those follicles, they'll freeze your eggs. So it's pretty quick process. I believe the doctor said that the retrieval all in itself will probably take about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but I'll definitely keep you posted on that. And so when you wake up, you'll be a little groggy. You're not going to be able to drive, so it would be really important to have someone take you to this appointment and drive you back. And then honestly, after that, it's just 5 or 7 days of just keeping your body just calm, and maybe putting on a heating pad on your tummy just to keep it warm and comfy. But it's really easy. I mean, again, I'll go through it, I'll show you how it is, but I can't imagine it's too difficult. I think the hardest part of this whole process is just the emotions that come your way, making the decision, knowing if it's the right time, knowing if your body is ready, and honestly, add a little bit of glitter into your life. Make it fun. Do something where you can take your mind off of it. And it's not just, it is all about timing, but why not have fun? Why not do something where you can enjoy the process and show other women that, you know what, it's not all so bad. So here's a little glimpse of what my road to retrieval is. It might be yours, it may not, but I can't wait to share it with you, and I can't wait for you to share with me your journey through your egg freezing process.